everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica. Today is launch day for our October Topper of the Month. So if you're new to my channel, every month we've been doing monthly cross stitch and quilting patterns. They are seasonal, they're super fun, great way to decorate your home. They're also great for beginners because they're smaller projects. If you missed any of the previous years, we did trucks of the month for the first year, we did houses of the month for the second year, we did pillows of the month last year, and then this year we are doing the table topper of the month series. If you've missed out on any of my previous patterns, you can go back and check those out. Also, when I release the December pattern for this series, I'll put them all in a bundle so you can get all 12 months if you prefer that, and they are usually at a little bit of a discount. So that's coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But we are going to take a look at October today. Before we jump into our patterns, I did want to remind you that we do have stickers still available in our store. These are the October stickers of the month. They come in a set of 6 high quality vinyl stickers. They're really pretty colors. They're all seasonal and they're perfect for water bottles, laptops, guitar cases. I put mine on my sewing machine. You can put them anywhere that you'd like to have a little bit of extra decoration. So check those out. I will link them below, but you can also find them in my store under the stickers tab. All right, let's go ahead and dive right in. We're going to take a look at the quilty version first. So you knew I was going to do pumpkins for the quilty version, and if you know me at all, you probably know there's going to be a little aqua in this as well. I think all of my previous fall quilts have a little touch of aqua in them. I love that color. It's my favorite, and I think it really complements the orange in the pumpkins really well as well. So without further ado, here is our Quilty Topper for October. We've got a cute patchwork pumpkin in an adorable aqua wheelbarrow, and then I just did some pumpkins and leaves on that outer border to tie it all together. If you saw my Poppy's pumpkin patch fall quilt, you'll know that this little wheelbarrow made an appearance there as well. That pattern's a little different. It's got a pumpkin and a leaf in it, which is really cute, and one of my testers actually took that block and put it in a setting similar to this as well, and it was absolutely adorable. So that reminded me just to let you know, whenever you get a quilt pattern or something like this, you can take this one block. You could make an entire quilt out of this block. You could make a table runner, a pillow. There's a lot of flexibility whenever you're buying quilt patterns, and most of my quilt patterns have instructions on what you need to make one block and what you need to make the entire quilt. That way you can just take that one block and turn it into something to accompany the quilt you're making. So just a little friendly PSA reminder, you can use your quilt patterns to make a variety of different projects from the same pattern. Anyways, back to this one. We did a patchwork pumpkin in here. This is perfect for using up your scraps. You need one little leaf, some brown for your stem, and then a variety of different oranges for the patchwork. So that's a great way to use up some of those little scraps in your stash. And then we did a cute little border. My leaves are all the same orange, but you can make them all different. You can make all these little pumpkins on the outside edge different. So there's a lot of flexibility with this, but I do think it turned out really, really cute, and I'm excited to put this on my table for fall. Now the fabric for this I used, like I said, is all scraps. These are mostly from my Heartland collection, which was my fall collection that released last year. There's also a few prints from my very first line Bloom in there as well. So I just mix and match for these little projects. They're such great stash busters. For the background on this, I used my tan dot. It's just a nice low volume print. This was from I think this was from my So Quilty line. I've used this in a couple lines. This might also be from my Bloom line as well. I'm loving just a nice low volume tan dot for all of my backgrounds these days. I think it really gives it a little bit of extra coziness and texture, but then when you're looking at the project, it reads like a white or a neutral, so it doesn't take away from the design. So I love doing that. The quilting on this, I did my standard swirls and little pumpkins. Here's a little pumpkin right here. Hopefully you can see it with all of the shading going on in my room right now, but I just swirl around and then I come in, I do a little pumpkin, and then I swirl my way out, do another pumpkin, and I just did that all over this. So lots of just little swirls and pumpkins. Really cute, really easy to do, and if you're interested in learning how to free motion your own projects, I have a couple of videos here on how to straight line quilt and free motion quilt, and if you go back and watch my Poppy's pumpkin patch video, I actually show you how I go about doing this design because I did this same quilting design in that quilt, and I show you my steps on how I draw it out on paper first, and then move on to my long arm. And these little projects are great for learning how to free motion quilt because they're small, they're easy to maneuver, they're not as intimidating as like a larger quilt project. So if you want to dive into quilting your own projects, I think these little toppers are the perfect way to get started. All right, for the backing, of course, you knew I had to pull out some of that fabric from my harvest line from last year. There's just pumpkins and flowers and vines and super cute print. And then for the binding, I just did a gingham green binding. I just thought that looked kind of cute. And of course, I added my personalized label to the top. This label is from a company called everemblem.com, and this is just like a whimsical floral, I think. If you search her website, you'll be able to search it for like floral, whimsical floral, I think is what it's called. And something similar to this should pop up. And she sells them as sew-in or as iron on, and so you could iron it on and then just stitch around the edge to keep it in place. I like to just add it to my binding when I'm adding the binding on the back. That's really easy. I just folded it in half and then stuck it in my binding as I was stitching it on. And I'm really trying to be better about labeling all of my projects, even my little small ones, because later on when I'm gone and these are getting passed down and whatnot, I like people to remember who made them and where they came from. I think that just helps give them a little bit of something extra. All right, so here is our Quilty Topper. I hope you guys are enjoying this one. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Stitchy version. So let's take a look at our Stitchy version. Here is our current progress. Here is our October Stitchy. It's so cute. It features a little pumpkin in a wheelbarrow. It's absolutely adorable. I'm stitching on the 14 count Charles Craft Ada in the platinum colorway. It's just a nice neutral beige. And then here's all of my DMC floss colors. All that information is in the pattern, and in the pattern it also includes both the full outer border if you want to stitch the whole cloth version like I am. It also includes just the Stitchy version for the 1 month if you just want to stitch October. So there's a couple different options available in the pattern. And then if you're new to cross stitch, I also have a whole series on how to cross stitch here on YouTube. It covers everything for a beginner cross stitch, from your supplies to how to even do the stitches. And then there is some finishing information in there as well. And you can also check out our other months to see how to finish them off if you'd like to just do this as a little individual piece. The other thing I was thinking, and I don't know if I've mentioned it previously, but these might be really cute to finish off individually and put them on ornaments for a Christmas tree or maybe just some decor for your sewing room. So that's just another option to think about. But here is our progress for January through October on our Stitchy Topper series. All right, guys, that's it for our October toppers, the Stitchy and Quilty. They coordinate a little bit, which I'm trying to do with all of our monthly toppers. I have a link where you can get the patterns in my store below. You can also go to store.confessionsofahomeschooler.com and then just search for October table topper and they should pop up for you as well. If you're sewing along, don't forget to join our Sew With Me group on Facebook. You can post your in progress and finished pics there. It's really fun to see everybody's color combos and all of their projects. That is a private group. You do have to click join, answer a couple questions so I can make sure you're not a spammer, and then you'll be joined into the group and you can post all of your projects there. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can also hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming fun. I hope you're enjoying our 2025 Topper series. That's going to be it for today. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. This is actually a little foreshadowing of my new fall quilt. No, that's going to be out already. And don't forget to join our Sew With Me group on Facebook. You can add, and don't forget to join our, I hope you enjoy that one. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Quilty Stitchy.